10 hours before the program convened, respondents walked the streets of downtown Indianapolis in a heavily intoxicated state. Judge Bell extended her middle finger to a passing vehicle. The confrontation ended when Kaiser pulled out a gun, shot Judge Adams once, and shot Judge Jacobs twice. What?
Oh, man.
I went to law school so they could write about that time that I got into a fight and got shot.
This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below.
In the Indiana Supreme Court, this is in the matter of 3 judges, the Honorable Andrew Adams, Bradley Jacobs, and Sabrina Bell. This is decided November 12th, and this is a unanimous opinion. We find the respondents, the Honorable Judge Adams, Judge Jacobs, and Judge Bell, engaged in judicial misconduct by appearing in public in an intoxicated state and behaving in an injudicious manner, and by becoming involved in a verbal altercation. I love when they put it in like this formal language, like this formalized, like we don't want to say they got into a fight.
Yeah, but I'm concerned by one of those 3 criteria as being in public in an intoxicated state. I feel personally attacked.
Well, I mean, there is actually public intoxication is a charge, is a crime.
Well, yes.
We also find that Judge Adams and Jacobs engaged in judicial misconduct by becoming involved in a physical altercation for which Judge Adams was criminally charged and convicted. Respondents' actions were not merely embarrassing on a personal level, they discredited the entire Indiana judiciary. This matter is before us on the Indiana Commission of Judicial Qualifications notice of the institution of formal proceedings and statement of charges against respondents. After charges were filed, each respondent separately tendered a statement of circumstances and conditional agreement for discipline, stipulating to certain facts. So they agreed to these facts. They agreed that this happened. Judge Adams was admitted in 2001, and Judge Jacobs 1999, and Judge Bell 2011. They all provided over general jurisdiction dockets in their county circuit courts. On the evening of April 30th, 2019, respondents traveled to Indianapolis to attend the Spring Judicial College the next day. So they're at CLE training. They're at continuing education training. After checking into their hotel rooms, respondents spent the evening socializing with other judicial officers and drinking alcoholic beverages.
As one does.
As one does at these things.
Yes.
Like this is, if this is a problem in the industry, then you need to address this part. We all drink a lot at these conferences.
If they come after that, I'm going to be very unhappy.
At around 12:30 a.m. on May 1st, respondents and Clark Circuit Court Magistrate William Dawkins met at a local bar where they continued to drink alcohol. At about 3 a.m., the group walked to a club for adults and tried to enter but found that it was closed. I'm sure they were very disappointed.
Yes.
The group then walked to a nearby White Castle.
Excellent.
White Castle, for if you don't know, is a real cheap burger joint. Like,
yes,
it's a national chain, or at least it's an East Coast chain, Eastern region chain, like eastern half of the country chain kind of thing.
If it was me and 3:30 in the morning
in Columbus.
Yeah, they're sliders basically. Yeah, they're little square little sliders, and you can get them with all sorts of stuff. But they're
very cheap.
They're very cheap. I mean, this is not stuff you really want to be eating if you value the longevity of your intestinal tract. While Magistrate Dawkins went inside, respondents stood outside the restaurant at around 3:17 a.m. Alfredo Vasquez and Brandon Kaiser drove past the group and shouted something out the window. Judge Bell extended her middle finger to them. They pulled into the White Castle parking lot and exited the vehicle. Judge Bell, who was intoxicated, has no memory of this incident but concedes that the security camera video shows she made the gesture. No, we don't. I've never made the middle finger gesture.
Mm-hmm.
A heated verbal altercation ensued, with all participants yelling, using profanity, and making dismissive, mocking, or insolent gestures toward the other group. At no time did respondents move to another location in the parking lot to avoid a confrontation or de-escalate the conflict. After a verbal exchange between Bell and Vasquez, the physical confrontation ensued. At one point, Judge Jacobs had Kaiser contained on the ground with his fist raised back. Judge Jacobs said, okay, we're done, or this is over, tell me this is over, or words to that effect. At another point during the confrontation, Judge Adams kicked Kaiser in the back. The confrontation ended when Kaiser pulled out a gun, shot Judge Adams once, and shot Judge Jacobs twice. What?
Oh man.
What?
That escalated quickly.
I feel
very quickly.
I feel a little cheated that I don't know.
Who are Vasquez and Kaiser? Were these people other people from the thing? These are like people driving by, just like random people driving by. Yeah, I don't see them mentioned here before. Like they were just people driving by who like, yelled profanities at them.
I feel like the record isn't fully complete since we don't know exactly what was saying in the altercation rising up to this.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to know a little bit more about the exact words that were used in this judicial.
I'd like to see the video.
Yes.
Judge Adams and Judge Jacobs were transported to local hospitals for treatment of their serious injuries. Judge Adams sustained a single gunshot wound to the abdomen, had 2 emergency surgeries, including a colon resectioning. Judge Jacobs, who sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the chest, also had 2 emergency surgeries and was hospitalized for 14 days. Upon admission to the hospital, Judge Adams' serum blood alcohol level was 0.213.
Epic.
And Judge Jacobs' serum blood alcohol was 0.177.
They had a good night.
Judge Bell's blood alcohol level was not tested, but she was intoxicated enough that she lacks any memory of the incident. She's the one who gave them the finger, right? She's the one who gave the drive-byers the finger, and then they stopped, got into the altercation, and then shot the judges. And Judge Bell did not get shot. I hope she feels bad about that. Judge Bell remained on the scene to speak to police, was later taken to the police station to give a recorded statement. In her statements to police, she asserted that she does not remember what she said to Vasquez or Kaiser or what started the physical altercations. However, while on the scene, the media videotaped Judge Bell telling police detectives in an excited state, "I feel like this is all my fault," or words to that effect. Judge Bell does not remember making this statement. After being informed during her recorded statement that police detectives had video of the incident, she remarked that, "I'm afraid that I said something to them first. I don't know. We're all very good friends, and they're very protective of me, and I don't know. I'm afraid that I said something to those 2 strange men at first, and then they said something back to me, and then I said something, and then Judge Adams and Jacobs went to defend me. I'm not denying that I said something or egged it on because I drink. I mean, I fully acknowledge that I drink, and I get mouthy, and I'm fiery, and I'm feisty, but if I would never have thought for a second that they were going to fight or that guy had a gun on him, I would never. Judge Bell later indicated that she was hypothesizing scenarios to the police about what might have happened, as she has no memory of the verbal altercation, but she concedes that she made these statements. On June 28, 2019, a special grand jury filed an indictment against Judge Adams for 2 counts of felony battery resulting in moderate injury, 2 counts of Class A misdemeanor battery resulting in bodily injury, 2 counts of Class B misdemeanor battery, and 1 count of Class B misdemeanor disorderly conduct. Judge Jacobs was also the target of a grand jury investigation, but no criminal charges were filed. On June 28, 2019, we suspended Judge Adams from the bench until further order under Indiana Admission and Discipline Rule 25.5a, which provides that a judicial officer shall be suspended with pay upon the filing of an indictment or information charging the judicial officer with a crime punishable as a felony under the laws of Indiana or the laws of the United States. On September 9th, 2019, Judge Adams pled guilty to Class A misdemeanor battery resulting in bodily injury. In his agreement, he admitted to kicking Kaiser in a rude, insolent, or angry manner on May 1st, 2019, resulting in bodily injury and pain to Kaiser. All other charges were dismissed. Judge Adams was sentenced to 365 days in jail, with 363 suspended. So he served 2 days in jail. The commission charges and respondents agree that their respective conduct violated the following provisions of the Code of Judicial Conduct. Rule 1.2, requiring judges to act at all times in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity, independence, and impartiality of the judiciary. Notice that is a all times. At all times, you must act in a manner conducive to public confidence in the judiciary. Not when you're in the robe, not when you're on the bench, not when you're at work, at all times. Then there's Rule 3.1c, which prohibits judges from participating in extrajudicial activities that would appear to a reasonable person to undermine the judge's integrity, independence, or impartiality. In this case, fighting and getting drunk in public to a point that people get into a fight and shot. The commission further charges, and Judge Adams agrees, and my dog has slobbered all over my desk. The commission further charges, and Judge Adams agrees, that his conduct violated Rule 1.1 of the Code of Judicial Conduct, which requires a judge to respect and comply with the law. Our legal system is based upon the principle that an independent, impartial, and competent judiciary composed of men and women of integrity will interpret and apply the law that governs our society. The effectiveness of the judiciary ultimately rests on the trust and confidence that citizens confer on judges. Judges, therefore, must remain vigilant to guard against any actions that erode the public trust. Respondents' alcohol-fueled actions during the early morning hours of May 1st, 2019, fell far short of the Code's directive to aspire at all times to conduct that ensures the greatest possible public confidence in their independence, impartiality, integrity, and competence. Respondents acknowledge that their misconduct damaged the public's respect for and confidence in the integrity of the Indiana judiciary, both within the state and nationally. Their misconduct occurred while they were at an Indianapolis statewide judicial educational event, and Judge Adams' misconduct resulted in a criminal conviction. The following mitigating factors are noted. Respondents have no prior disciplinary history, have accepted responsibility and expressed remorse, made efforts to address their behavior by contacting the Lawyer's Assistance Program and seeking counseling. They have suffered serious injuries as a result of their altercation. Judge Bell made several attempts to stop the fighting, including seeking help from those inside White Castle and including immediately calling 911 after shots were fired. They have been active leaders in their community and cooperated fully with the commission and have been forthcoming. So they ate crow while the crow was young and tender, so they will get the lenientest punishment that the board can by law authorize. So something not outside of other cases, but on the lighter end of the range of those punishments that are available. Quote, the purpose of the judicial discipline is not primarily to punish a judge, but rather to preserve the integrity of and public confidence in the judicial system, and when necessary, safeguard the bench and public from those who are unfit. This sanction must be designed to deter similar misconduct. The commission and Judge Adams agree to a 60-day suspension without pay. Judge Jacobs agrees to a 30-day suspension without pay, and Judge Bell agrees to a 30-day suspension without pay. The suspension from office without pay is not a minor sanction. Even more than a public reprimand, any such suspension is a significant blemish on a judge's reputation. Unpaid suspensions of 30 days or longer then are among the most severe sanctions short of removal from office. We agree that these suspensions are warranted in light of respondents' misconduct. While in town to attend a statewide educational conference for judicial officers, 10 hours before the program convened, respondents walked the streets of downtown Indianapolis in a heavily intoxicated state. When Judge Bell extended her middle finger to a passing vehicle, neither Judge Adams nor Judge Jacobs discouraged the provocation or removed themselves from the situation. Instead, all three respondents joined in a profane verbal altercation that quickly turned into physical violence and ended in gunfire, and in doing so, gravely undermined public trust in the dignity and decency of Indiana's judiciary. Those are words I don't think they ever thought would be written about them.
No.
I went to law school so they could write about that time that I got into a fight and got shot. Hey, how about I went to law school so I could write about that time that I got chased by a cop that wasn't a cop.
The fact that this was like after a CLE,
Before
the
a
CLE, but the
oh,
night
it's
before.
before.
They arrived like ahead of time and got like, I mean, faced. Is that like a word I can?
Sure.
Bleep that out, Brandon. Before the CLE.
So they should have known better.
Yes,
They should have known until after the CLE, right?
Yes, you get intoxicated after the CLE, and then let's be fair, Judge Bell knows that she's a fiery loudmouth when she gets intoxicated, so she went and got intoxicated, knowing that she's a fiery loudmouth at the location of her CLE, her judge's CLE.
I mean, I don't know that's necessarily reasonably foreseeable that, because you extend the middle finger and are verbally mean, that you are anticipating getting shot.
Right. I don't think that they're... Yeah, I feel that she's responsible for starting the incident, but I don't feel like she escalated it.
Yeah.
Like beyond the middle finger thing, she didn't further escalate it.
Yeah, so...
And I've definitely, let's be fair here, I'm a human being, I'm a 40-year-old man, and I was raised by an authoritarian father who did this kind of crap all the time. It's not like I've never given the middle finger to somebody. I just don't often expect that someone's going to go out of their way to then try and beat me up because I gave them the middle finger. Like just saying F you, buddy, why would you go and try to kill somebody because they said F you?
So
that's a super fragile ego now, isn't it?
Let me try to give the most charitable case for the judges here. Other than them being completely blitzed out of their mind, it's like, what exactly did they do wrong? Because someone did something, someone extended a middle finger.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a problem in and of itself?
Well, the other two judges then overreacted to the people who had stopped because they had been given the middle finger. And apparently there was a little more than just the middle finger. She might have said some things as well.
Okay. Wow.
So these other people who for all we know might have also been intoxicated, and we don't know if they were charged with anything. At 3:17 in the morning,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And they were driving too. Unless these are perfectly sober people who decided to shoot two judges. The court concludes. The court orders that Andrew Adams, who is already under interim suspension, shall be suspended without pay, effective immediately for 60 days. The suspension shall terminate January 13th, 2020. The court orders Bradley Jacobs be suspended for 30 days. That ends December 23rd. And same thing for Sabrina Bell. That one ends December 23rd. The disciplinary proceedings are terminated. The justices concur. And they all had attorneys. Yep. One judge had two attorneys. The two judges had two attorneys, and Judge Jacobs had one attorney. Even when attorneys need attorneys.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that's one of the nicest things about being an attorney is I can just turn to my colleagues and be like, "Hey, how does this work?" And they're like this. What do you think? And then like next time they need something, they turn to me and ask, and it just kind of works out. We don't ever like really bill each other for it unless it's super significant work. I really appreciate like the being inside the attorney circle. Judge, two other men charged in shooting outside downtown White Castle. Judges were shot. Police said a vehicle pulled into the lot and parked. People from the vehicle tried to get into the restaurant but discovered it was locked. The two groups exchanged words and a fight ensued. Shots were fired at that point. Surveillance video was acquired and a portion was released to assist in identifying the suspects. The full video has not been released. Brandon Kaiser and Christopher Vasquez were arrested. The prosecutor said no charges are being sought against the suspects, saying that more evidence was needed. They held a press conference and called it complicated because it does seem like the judges were, well, Judge Bell was somewhat of an initial aggressor, but then trying to figure out who escalated. If the other two judges intervened physically first, That makes it complicated.
Yeah, the counts are listed under the video in the bullet points. That's where you
Okay.
see the charges.
Let's see. Kaiser faces 4 counts of felony aggravated battery, 2 counts of felony battery with deadly weapon, 2 counts of felony battery resulting in moderate bodily injury, 2 counts of misdemeanor battery, 1 count of misdemeanor carrying a handgun without a license, and 1 count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct. Vasquez faces charges of 2 counts of felony battery resulting in moderate bodily injury, 2 counts of misdemeanor battery resulting in bodily injury, 2 counts of misdemeanor battery, and 1 count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct. Adams, the judge, faces the 2 counts. Yeah, we read that before. So
Vasquez entered a plea bargain and was sentenced to 180 days of in-home detention. And Kaiser's trial is going to start on the 18th, which is tomorrow as we're recording this.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So just as we go to press. Interesting. So yeah, what do you think of that? Judges. These are judges. I sure hope that I find being I sure hope that I can become a judge as easily as these people did.
Does this mean they missed the CLE?
I know. They missed the CLE. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they missed the CLE. In fact, I'm going to guess that it cast a dark cloud over the entire CLE program, and probably has for several years.
Legends have been told.
Legends will now be told. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. This is Kurt Mueller, your favorite patent attorney, and we are lawful masses. You are also lawful masses. You are our audience of lawful people who watch our lawful masses. Did I say the word lawful masses enough? Thank you for your support on patreon.com/ljfrench and sponsus.com/law. This channel would not exist without your financial support, and your financial support is directly required for us to grow to the next level. So please consider visiting those websites and contributing on a monthly basis to our mission. Thank you very much to our supporters for November. Thank you to our $50 plus supporters, Joe Tyson, Aspernari, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Kyle Mudrak, Michael Pearce, Spirit Bear, Jan Negrey, Daniel Perez, SnorreW, Blackleaf, that guy, Benjamin Hitov, and Steven. Thank you very, very much for your support. And thank you to the $5 plus supporters who are scrolling on the LED panel back there and will be on the in front of me here and the crawl and the videos that we drop. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. That is Kurt Mueller, your favorite patent attorney. And we love you all. Have a great week. We'll see you in the videos that drop. Bye.